Hi guys, it's Anthony with AJK Beauty, back with another video. This time it's going to be something a little bit different. I apologize if there's a bit of an echo. I am actually in my bathroom this evening. I've been really wanting to do a kind of get unready with me nighttime routine for you guys, just to kind of go over what I'm currently using right now. I'm hoping to do these maybe once a month, but also I really wanted to do this first one just to, as I'm using these products and doing my routine, just to talk to you guys a little bit more about my skin type, some of the skin issues that I currently deal with, and then a little bit about my background with skincare. Just kind of an introduction to myself, I guess, as well as my skin type, so you can better understand where I'm coming from when I do my skincare and product reviews. So I know that's an important piece of understanding if something's going to work for you, is knowing what kind of skin type and skin concerns the person has that you are watching or listening to. So I just wanted to do that this evening and get into my routine. So before I start talking about some of my skin issues and getting some really intense close-ups, let me start by oil cleansing. I'm gonna oil cleanse, and then I'm gonna hop in the shower, and then once I'm out of there, I will come back to you guys and start off with my water cleanser. But before I do the water cleanser, I will have, or right after I do the water cleanser actually, I'll have a completely bare face. I'm not wearing any makeup or anything right now, but there's sunscreen and stuff, so there's some reflection. So let me do that, get to bare face mode, but and then we'll get into some specifics. I'm also gonna shave because sometimes my facial hair covers up, I don't have much, but it does kind of cover up sometimes some of the things that I have issues with. So I'm gonna get everything off my face so we can kind of dive in and then go from there. So real quick, I just want to talk to you about the oil cleanser that I'm using. It's actually one that I already reviewed. It was, I think, my very first skincare review. So coming up on a month ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago. So take a look at that one if you haven't. It is these are all going to be flipped because just the way I have my camera set up on my phone. I had to do front-facing camera, so everything's going to be flipped. I do apologize for that. It's just how I have this set up right now. But it is the Aromatica Natural Coconut Cleansing Oil. Did a review on this on a previous video. There's full reviews on a lot of these products. I'll let you know which ones have and haven't been reviewed on my blog, ajkbeauty.wordpress. So check that out. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with the oil cleanser, scrub, and then I'm gonna churn you off, come back to you after the shower. We'll start with water cleansing. But anyway, one thing that I always, this is gonna be so weird, do is wash my hands before I go in with any skincare routine, just because you've been touching steering wheels and pens and pencils and all sorts of stuff. And so you don't want to, you don't want to be mixing any of that into your skincare routine. I mean, it's a cleansing oil. You're going to be using cleansers, but better to start off with clean hands. I mean, I don't know if that's just me being weird about it, but that kind of freaks me out to be touching a bunch of stuff. Sorry, I'm grabbing towels. Touching a bunch of stuff and then putting it on your face. I know it's you're washing, but I don't know, that just freaks me out. So I just rinse my hands real quick. I have some hand soap here that's sulfate free, so I'm hoping it doesn't mess up with the pH too much. But anyway, regardless, oil cleanser, just a couple pumps. I usually just go with one pump if I'm not wearing any makeup, but I've been using a lot of sunscreen today, and so that tends to build up. So I did 2 pumps this time. Anyway, so I am 32. I'm going to be 33 next month, and I really didn't start I've been on and off taking care of my skin. I'm going to be doing this for about 2 or 3 minutes, just heads up. So I haven't really, I'm off and on with taking care of my skin. When I was a teenager, I had really bad acne breakouts that would come and they'd just attack my skin for like a month or two, and then they'd go away for a few months and then come back. I just had like waves of them. And then as I got older, that kind of went away, but I was left with a lot of acne scarring. And I've always had incredibly clogged pores. So not necessarily active breakouts, but just like sebum-filled pores, especially on my temples, pretty much all the way around my whole jawline, and even like in patches on my neck. And so I've used so many things, growing up, and once I became an adult, I even worked at the Proactive counter for a few months when my skin was looking a little bit better. But still, it wasn't like I ever had control over it. My face just did what it wanted to, and I just was there along for the ride, and I just had to do my best to kind of, combat it as much as possible. I grew up in the era of, if you have a breakout or if you have really oily skin, then the best thing to do is just strip everything down. So lots of astringent toners, a lot of like Stridex pads and Proactive and Clean and Clear and Say Knives. That was all my jam. There was even this mint mud mask from like some brand called like Saint Helene, and I just remember it. I would actually see the little spots of like moisture and oil where it was just like sucking everything out of my skin. And when I'd rinse my skin off after using all these astringent or stripping products, my skin would feel so tight and like dry. And I was told like, that means it's clean. It was such a bad idea. So anyway, cut to last year, 32 years old, and I was just getting another bout of really horrible breakouts. I'm gonna rinse this, and then I'm gonna do some edits so you're not sitting here for an hour. But I'm gonna rinse this, come back to you. Give me a second. By the way, I'm jumping back in. I really like how well this Aromatica oil cleanser emulsifies. It's so thick and heavy, so you'd assume that it would just be a real pain in the butt to rinse off. But once you get some lukewarm water on it and emulsify it and make it, create that milkiness, it just comes right off, and it takes everything with it without stripping your skin of its natural oils. It just feels so nourishing while still thoroughly cleansing. So there you go. Okay, so I just oil cleansed. Let me jump in the shower. Let me shave afterwards, and then I will come back to you with my PJs on, and we are going to go over water cleanser, talk more about my skin. We'll pick up where we left off and go through my whole evening routine, including the stuff I'm not using tonight but do use on a weekly basis. So beep boop borp, I will be back. All right, I am back. Showered. You can see I shaved. I've got water on my shirt already. Real quick, I typically shave once a day. I don't grow facial hair super fast, and I've always grown in like really patchy. Like I can never get a beard, like I'm barely a mustache. But since it comes in patchy, when I get little stubble, it almost looks like it's accentuating my hyperpigmentation. We'll get there. So I shave pretty regularly. Nothing special. I use, and once again, it's all backwards. I'm so sorry. The Fresh for Men shave foam from the Face Shop. Not for any particular reason other than I wanted to try a K-Beauty version of shaving cream. It doesn't do anything any more special than I think my Gillette or whatever all those other brands are of like drugstore brand shaving creams. I don't feel like it's that much better. In fact, it does have some questionable ingredients. So as soon as I finish with this bottle, I think this is my second or third one, I'm just gonna go back to Gillette or whatever I can find in the sale bin. I'm not that picky about it. And that's also why I shave in between my oil and my water cleanser, because I want to use the oil cleanser to kind of massage the hairs, get everything kind of standing up, and get off any of that surface dirt, that initial dirt. But because of the ingredients list in that shaving cream, or I guess shaving creams in general, I want to make sure that my skin is still like balanced, pH balanced, and feeling good. So then I come back with my pH balanced water-based cleanser. So that's why I do the shaving routine that I do. Okay, so when we left off, I was about to go into my water cleansing step, and the one that I'm using right now is the Lotus Jeju Botanical pH Balancing Cleanser. Oh, what a name. I actually just got this recently from Face Story. They have a subscription box where you can get full-size skincare ingredients. I did an unboxing of this. I think it was last week or the week before, so check that out. You'll see Face Story unboxing. And I've been wanting to try this for a while because it's been on Peach and Lily's site, but it's kind of pricey. It's $39. But the Face Story box is $34.95 for the whole box. You get sheet masks and full-size skincare and all sorts of fun things like my headband, which I should probably put on. One moment, please. Okay, there we go. I've got my bunny headband on. Not that I have long hair to hold back, but sometimes little hairs in front. Anyway, so this water cleanser, I just started using it a couple of days ago. So far, happy with it. I'll be doing a full review once I hit a 1 month mark. So, I'm gonna turn this off while I do this. So that's the cleanser I'm using right now. I always look for pH balance cleansers because those just help support a strong moisture barrier on your skin, and they don't aggravate acne as much. You just keep a healthier state of your skin. So anyway, pH balance cleansers, A+. So about a year ago, I think it was in April of 2018, I was just having another horrible bout of like breakouts on my cheeks, and I was just having such clogged pores on my temples. Like I could run my fingers, and it was like speed bumps on my temples. And then I've always had, you'll see it as soon as I rinse my face, issues with hyperpigmentation pretty much all right here, like all down my cheeks, through my chin, and then down my neck where I'm supposed to grow facial hair, because it does grow in, but I get ingrown hairs constantly. So, and then as soon as those kind of go away, or sometimes they even get infected and get really gross. And then when they go away, they leave behind acne scars and hyperpigmentation, a ton of it. Ugh. Excuse me, a ton of it, especially on my neck. Like I always feel like when I was younger, going through puberty, and even as an adult, I always kind of like made sure there was a shadow, or like I always was conscious of the fact that I basically had this like hyperpigmentation bar, like sensor bar all around right here on my neck. It was like several shades darker than my face, and like from here down on my neck is like basically where the shadow was, is where the hair would try to grow in and just get infected or become ingrown, and I'd have to like go in with tweezers, and keep in mind I still have to do all this, but anyway, go in with tweezers and pull out those hairs that were just like lodged in the skin. It was a mess, and it's been a mess for decades. So I was complaining to my cousin about it. I'm just gonna get the eye area, sorry. I was complaining to my cousin about it, and I was like, I've been going to esthetician, I've been getting facials, which I've done off and on for years, and she's recommending this skincare that is just like, I don't think it's doing anything that great, and it's crazy expensive. It was like, $40-50 for the cleanser, and then their sunscreen was $60, and then you had an ampule or like a serum, which that was $100 plus, but there was 2 cleansers that both water-based for some reason that you needed, and I was just like, this all seems like too much money. And sorry, I'm gonna rinse this. Whew, okay, all rinsed now. Okay, so yeah, I was just like, this all seems like a ton of money. I wasn't getting a lot of information from her as far as like what the the end of the day what the benefits are for that product line versus what was going on with my skin and why that was specific for me, because I think that spa that I was going to only had that skincare line. So I'm like, how is this helping me versus the 60-year-old woman that's coming in without any acne or any hyperpigmentation but is trying to fight anti-aging? Who is this actually geared towards? So I just had a lot of questions, and I didn't know. I'm gonna take this off because I'm just gonna do serums now, or other steps. So I didn't know anything about skincare myself or skincare ingredients. So how do I know to flip over the box and be like, oh, this has such and such and such, so that's why she's recommending it for me, or maybe this won't work for me because of X, Y, and Z. It was just like, here's our line, and it's gonna work for you, just buy it, without a lot of information or instruction on it. So I was complaining about that, and I was like, I just don't know what to do anymore about my skin. And my cousin was like, have you heard of K-Beauty? And I was like, no, what is that? And she sent me a link to, I think, a couple articles, and from there it was just like, woo, down the rabbit hole. I just became obsessed with the price points, the featured ingredients and their claimed benefits, just the accessibility. Some of the packaging was just really fun and drew me in. I love aesthetically pleasing products, and it was just like kind of everything. It looked like a lot of people were having great success with K-Beauty. It's been on the US side for years now. So I was like, why haven't I ever heard of this? This is incredible. So I know I'm late to the game, but I just went full in with purchases on SocoGlam and Ulta and all these other places. And in the past year, I've kind of been able to figure out what my skin type is, what some of my main skin concerns are, and how to address them. So rather than just letting whatever happens, I mean, it's gonna happen, but now I feel like I have the tools and the knowledge to address it so things aren't an ongoing issue for as long as they used to be. So now that I've said all that, let's get to the nitty-gritty of what is going on my skin. I just finished water cleansing, so completely bare face, and I'll just get right to the things that I'm trying to work on. You can see here, hopefully you can see there's some hyperpigmentation, still some ingrown hairs. You can see the bumps where they're raised, and I can actually feel the hair kind of trying to get through. And then you can see the acne scars or the scars and hyperpigmentation from the ones that have been long since passed. They're on both sides. That one's fairly new, but I can tell you that, like I said, you can see individual spots now, whereas before it was just like almost like a bar where there was just a dark bar across my entire underside of my neck, and I was able to hide it pretty well with, like I said, shadows and a lot of this. But it was bad, and it's getting a lot better. So it's an ongoing project. I still get ingrown hairs, so there's brand new ones here too. And so it's an ongoing thing that I'm always working on. Sorry, I'm looking at the mirror anyway. Okay, so other than that, just some texture issues. Like, you can see that was an ingrown hair right there. Just some general texture issues. I just have some texture bumps that just refuse to go away. And then around my mouth, I have you can see all my cloud pores. You see that? But yeah, they're small, so from far away you can't really tell. But if we're getting right up in it, you can see all my pores all around my mouth. Basically, wherever facial hair is supposed to grow, I have some issues. Just a couple blemishes. I don't mind my freckles and sunspots, to be honest. I like them. And then on my temples, you can kind of see, that's a bad example because that one's looking really good. But that side, you can kind of see some bumps and divots from my old acne. It was literally all the way down my temple. It was bad. So anyway, forehead has always looked pretty good. You can see little blemishes here and there. I mean, that happens, especially if I'm outside and I've been wearing sunscreen frequently. I'll get those, so whatever. I'm happy that my eye area, to me, looks pretty good. Little irritation right there in the corners. A little bit of bagginess, but I looked at pictures, so I've been really eyeing my eyes, and I was like, did I always have like these little, you can see little bags. Hello, hi guys. And I was like, did I always have those? Because I feel like that maybe they're new, or maybe because I'm doing skincare now I'm focusing all that stuff. But I looked at little baby pictures of me like on a little tricycle in like a Denver Broncos onesie, and those bags were still there, honey. So they're not going anywhere. But there's a little bit of darkness, little dark spots, but whatever. So it's not that bad, and I know some people will be like, that's nothing, look at what I got, but I feel like it all impacts us in different ways, and we all have our own struggles. I'd say my biggest thing in general is just evening my skin tone, and as in regards to the hyperpigmentation. You can even see, like, I have this patch of hair that grows right here, just right here, and there's like permanent like that whole area is just dark now because I've had so much irritation and constant ingrown hairs and stuff. So that's what I'm working with. So now that we've covered that, I'm going to start in with my toner. We're going to talk exfoliation steps, and then I think I'm going to take you on a little tour of my little setup here and in some other areas in the house. So we're going to do that. Toner, right now I am using the Pixi Glow Tonic. Is that? I can never tell if I'm doing that right. I don't know. Anyway, so Pixi Glow Tonic, I think this is a 5% glycolic acid toner. I use this daily just because I have, or had, very oily combination skin, and I still have a ton of sebum. So I do need some pretty strong exfoliation, but I do keep an eye on it to make sure I'm not over exfoliating. But I use this daily, cotton pad. Haven't reviewed this yet, so keep that in mind. I'm going to keep it brief. But bloop, 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 just a nice once over with the pad, going down to the neck. Da, 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 da. I'm always shocked by how much dead skin and grossness this step gets off. Some of that is just the color of the toner, but some of that is dead skin. So, other side. I'm going to stay quiet so I can fast forward through this, okay? Done. All right, so that was the toner. What were we talking about? What were we talking about, guys? We were talking about my skin condition. Started using K-Beauty. Started with Soko Glam pretty much. Went through the like 10 steps and like slowly built my routine on that concept. But I knew early. Sorry, memory card issues. Anyway, I was saying I'm the type of person like with a 10-step routine coming from someone that hadn't really been taking care of their skin at all, was very daunting, and I tend to bail on stuff like Proactiv, all those multi-step things. I would bail on within a couple weeks. I just wasn't that determined, and I felt like even after I was using them, the same issues still kept happening. So I was like, what am I doing? I mean, I guess I just have to live with this. But K-Beauty was different because it was affordable, so I didn't feel like there wasn't a lot of pressure to like keep using stuff. But the formulas, the scents, the packaging was all really appealing, and it just like drew me in. And I think also at that time I was looking for something to incorporate into just my nightly routine to kind of like pamper myself and feel like I'm taking care of myself in different ways. So I was just it was the right time, and it was the right products, I guess. So yeah, so I just really dove in with them with kind of the Soko Glam's top recommended products at the time, like their award winners. So it was a lot of Neogen pads and what was the other one? Claire Supple Preparation Toner, Misha Time Revolution First Treatment Essence, all of that stuff, the Neogen Canadian Clay pore mask, all of that stuff was like the first things that I used, and they were all really solid products and just different from anything that I had used before. These weren't your 3-step cleanse, tone, lotion, Proactiv style stuff. There was some fun, cool ingredients that made you want to research them, like wine extract. It was just this whole new world of amazing stuff. So before I go further, let me stop this. Actually, anyway. let's get into my other areas of the house where I keep stuff. I'm going to show you all of my stashes. Keep in mind that one of my roommate is a contractor, so our garage where I keep some of my stuff is a storage unit / workshop, and it is a nightmare, so don't judge me for that. But I'm going to show you some other areas too, so let's get started. Okay, so this is the first area I wanted to show you. This is just right here on my little vanity thingy. So you've got just some of the main stuff I'm using right now. Like I said, most of this I haven't reviewed yet, except for this essence. We'll get to that. And then my lip mask, I've also reviewed that. Anyway, so that's that. Flipping around, I'm gonna go into my ye old skincare closet. We'll start down here. Here's all of my sheet masks that I still need to get to. And then this is a product that I'm done using. I was gonna keep using it, but I wanted to move on to that Lotus cleanser. So it's just there hanging out. You've got Where It All Started, the little book of skincare with Charlotte Cho, my queen. You've got that, my little whip maker, some spatulas. Here's all of my makeup, contacts, eye stuff. I just have some BB cushion and some powder, and then this D-Bronzy. If you've never used it, check out the review. So got all that. Then down here, empty boxes for empties, picks, all my empty sheet masks and sheet masks that I'm currently working on a review for. And then this is all the stuff that I either bought impulsively and decided, no, I don't want to put that on my face, or like sheet masks that I used a few, wasn't a huge fan. So this is like, and sample sizes of products. So that's my little giveaway bag. I usually take that over to friends' houses and say, have at it. And then up here is all the products that are waiting to be tested. They're all organized by step. So oil cleanser, exfoliating and masks, toner, essence, serums, eye cream. There's some other sleeping masks. I only have those two, so that's why they don't have their own thing. Facial mists, lotion, sunscreen, and then body, lip, miscellaneous products. So that's all that waiting to be. I can't wait to try this one. Hello. But yeah, I'm trying to get to all this. And then up here are just some boxes that I've saved from like shipments that I reuse for photos and stuff. And then some towels. So that's that. Let's take a little trip. You'll probably meet Sawyer again. He's been in one of my videos, but he's hanging out here somewhere. Oh, he is just chilling. So this is the garage. Oh my god, this is... oh god! Yeah, it is a freaking mess. Look at all this construction stuff. Anyway, so this is my skincare fridge. I know a lot of people have skincare fridges, but mine's actually a full-size fridge because nobody uses this. So, here I keep... most of my actives are stuff that has some sort of AHA, BHA, vitamin C. Doesn't all necessarily need to be kept cool, but I like to, just for personal preference. It doesn't increase the benefits of any of these products. Some of them, it helps keep them fresh for longer, so you can use them longer. But a lot of these, like the Neogen pads, they don't need to be in here. But I like that. I like keeping all of them together, all my actives. And then down here we have some more sheet masks, just some that are coming up in my reviews based on expiration date. These guys need to be used next. And then I have some more back here based on expiration date. That one's in here because I just did a review on it. And then these guys aren't expiring anytime soon, but I just think these ones do better cold. So that's why they're in here. So yeah, that's what's going on in my skincare fridge, and that's everywhere that I use in the house that I use for skincare. I'm going to turn this off and get back to the bathroom. Bye-bye. And we're back. Okay, so I grabbed out of the fridge, since we just went over there for our little field trip, and grabbed what I'm using for my exfoliation step tonight. And that's the Neogen BioPeel Gauze Peel Wine Peeling Peel Pads. I don't know. It's a super long name. Gauze Peeling Wine Pads, BioPeel Plus. So I have them in wine. This is honestly, I think, the second K-Beauty product that I purchased when I started a K-Beauty routine, and it has not left my side since. I incorporate other exfoliating products here and there, and in fact, I'll just leave these be, sometimes for a couple months at a time, because I'm trying out something else, but I always come back to them. They have this really nice gauze side, and then this embossed cotton side just to kind of smooth everything out once you're done. I did a video, this was I think this was on the first YouTube video I did for a skincare review, and of course there's a full review of it on my blog, but I just gently and as best I can in circular motions go over my entire face with this little guy, making sure to get in those little nooks and crannies. I don't go right up to the eye area, but I get as close as I feel comfortable, pretty much just doing this on either side, just real gentle, real nice. Get that neck. So yeah, and then once you've done a proper scrub, just a minute or so, with the gauze side, you go flip, you flip it, reverse it. It's your flimmer nimmer. Okay. Anyway, you go back over with the embossed side and just smooth everything out. It puts a little bit more of that product on the skin, and so you get that nice, gentle exfoliation. So, get all that. And then, once I've gotten a good coat, I will let this sit for just a little bit, just to let that that fluid soak in. They do say on the package that you can just leave it, set it, and forget it, but I don't know how I feel about leaving an exfoliation fluid on without rinsing it. I feel like that could potentially be irritating, so I just kind of go once over, give it about a minute, and then we're gonna rinse. So while we're waiting for that, after I experienced kind of the first like heavy hitters or the all-stars of K-Beauty, of course I was like, must explore what else is out there. So I branched off from Soko Glam. Didn't really look too much at Peach and Lily and Glow Recipe right out of the gate because I started listening to a podcast, and they were like, you need to get right into Tester Korea. You need to get right into Jolse and Yes Style and Style Korean. And you need to look at, I think it's 11th Street or 11th Street. All of these online, Global Inner Park. All of these online retailers, some of their sites are in Korean, so you have to do a little bit of translation, but super easy with Google Translate to find some things to browse. And I had a great time doing that, and I actually did order from Jolse a couple of times, but I think I just jumped the gun on that and got a little overwhelmed with really understanding all the product formulations and ingredients and who is this targeted for. And I ended up ordering a number of duds from Jolse because I was just kind of picking things that looked cool or looked interesting or had cute packaging. And I did my best to kind of research them, but I was just kind of going off of what was new and best-selling. I was pretty much doing the same thing on Soko Glam that I was doing on Jolse, except for products that I didn't really know anything about. And so I went that route, came back, and since then, I think this is probably since this past fall, I've been really just using the big three, your Peach and Lily, your Glow Recipe, Soko Glam. I'll do Ulta and Sephora now. I just dived into those. So a lot of US-based retailers that carry Korean goods. And then, hold on, let me rinse this. I'll fast forward or edit, whatever. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I just had to comb that. So yeah, Jolse, all Yes Style Korean, all of that stuff. Kind of got into those for a little bit, but then ended up falling back into those other sites, Soko Glam, Glow Recipe, Peach and Lily, just because they seemed a little bit more accessible. I really appreciated the return policy, which seemed like it was kind of an ordeal with some of these other sites. And I was just more comfortable there as far as a jumping off point. And then From there, doing a lot of purchasing on Amazon because I think their K-Beauty offerings have really kind of exploded as far as what's available. You just have to be careful about your sellers. The same with eBay. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as of today. And in that time, I also really dove into the in-house brands from Peach and Lily, Glow Recipe, and then the exclusive collaborations with Soko Glam. I feel like for me, those have been, a lot of them have just been complete knockout products because it's that perfect blend of Korean technology and advancements in skincare with some of the things that are more geared towards a Western audience, like acid-based products and some more trendy ingredients. So I think that's kind of the perfect blend for me right now. I'm more interested less in the Tony Moly's and the skin foods of the world, and I'm more interested in some of the lesser known like indie brands or derma brands that aren't necessarily in the US anymore, which is why I'm going to Seoul in October for the K-Beauty Expo, because I think that's where I'll find some stuff that really like wows me, and I feel like I'll be there in front of the representatives from the brands. I'm learning Korean right now, or at least enough to get me by, so I'm hoping that that'll make it more approachable for me and I can find some stuff that's truly special as opposed to just taking a shot in the dark at places like Tester Korea or 11th Street. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of a basic brands person as far as where I do my shopping, but it seems like those are always kind of the trending products and the products that people want to hear most about. So I don't mind being there, and if it's helping my skin out, then what was the big deal? So moving on, we're going to crank through the rest of this because this is already going to be a super long video. Essence, it's the E-Nature Birch Juice Hydro Skin Essence. I've already done, this was I think on my first or second skincare review on YouTube, full review on the blog, just a couple pumps in the hand. It's got a pump applicator, which I like as opposed to a shakeout because it just gives you the right amount of product. And I just do my little pats. You can do multiple layers of this just depending on how dry your skin is and how much moisture you need. I get by with just the one. So that's why that product's lasting me forever, and that's why I feel like I'll never get to that Peach and Lily wild, or is it dewy wild dew? What is it? It's the Wild Dew Treatment Essence. I feel like it's been staring at me saying, please just use me. I'm so full of fermented goodness, but I subscribe to the idea of if it's doing okay, I'm going to use it all up as much as I can, especially my K-Beauty products. The Western products, I'm like, bye. Anyway, moving on. Eye cream. Huamisa Chai Tea Eye Cream. Huamisa by Glow Recipe. I did not like those chai tea pads. If you've guys seen those charcoal chai tea pads, I just did that really rough and I just be very gentle. That was me like, let's get this done. Yeah, the chai tea pads from the same line made my skin after I used them like beet red. And I read through the ingredients list, and there's one ingredient in there that's a natural preservative derived from something or other, but it's known to cause skin flushing and mild skin irritation, and that clearly happened with me. So didn't go back to those, went back to my Neogen, because those are my jam. Okay, second to last thing is serum. I'd actually do this, I typically would do this before my Essence, but here we are. Right now I'm using the Glow Recipe Pineapple Sea Bright Serum. I'm just a couple days away from hitting a month, so I'll be ready for that review. It's good stuff. As an independent vitamin C product, it's fine. It did not necessarily lighten my pigmentation a ton. I'll go into all the details in the full review, but this is almost like a brightening / hydrating serum as opposed to just a straight up gonna lighten those dark spots. So it just falls somewhere in between. Check out the review. I'm gonna be doing a video of it all, obviously, but check out the review because I do have some thoughts on whether it's worth the value. People have been going back and forth on the scent. Do they like the scent? Do you hate the scent? Is this scent black and blue, or is it gold and what was that dress? I don't know. I'm so not hip on this stuff from 2 years ago. A little bit on my neck as well. So yeah, that's my serum step. Usually vitamin C products, I try to get as early into the process as possible, and even if I can, leave them for a couple minutes before I move on so they have a chance to really absorb. But this one, like I said, it acts more like a traditional serum, which I really like. I still try to keep it as early into the process as possible, but if I forget, you can already see like, boom, like it, and we'll get to the full, we're gonna do the full review, but I just want you to see that. Look at that glow. Look at that radiance. Yeah, that stuff is something special. I'll say that. Okay, last thing is my second to, I keep saying that second to last thing. We'll get there. Aromatica Tea Tree Balancing Emulsion. Haven't done a review on this yet. About a week away from it, but it is a oil and sebum controlling emulsion or moisturizer. Very light, and the tea tree scent is incredible. And so I'm really happy with Aromatica thus far. Their coconut oil that I showed you earlier is from them too. So I just do a light massage for this guy, get it all in there. Real quick, as we're wrapping this up, I just wanted to touch on the fact that once I hit about the 3-month mark with K-Beauty, I started finding K-Beauty Facebook groups and K-Beauty subreddits and K-Beauty YouTube videos and this whole amazing community of people that have kind of gathered around not really a trend, but this kind of style of skincare. And so I just loved that. I loved the social aspect of it, and all the other stuff that I had ever used in the past didn't seem like there was that much of a following behind it, and there wasn't really a conversation to be had. It was almost like skincare was a chore. You know, you're like, oh God. And I think that's what it was for me, is like, God, I have to do these 3 steps and melt my skin off. And it was just like a chore and a battle, and I wasn't looking forward to it. And so I think that's kind of one of the things that saved me with K-Beauty too, outside of like just the appeal of the products themselves, was just the community around it and the encouragement behind it and the knowledge and just how much fun there was around skincare, which I'd never seen before. So I think that's what kept me going and kept me interested. And then I decided to start contributing too, posting some, you know, my first reviews were of like some basic sheet masks and stuff. And then after about 6 or 7 months, actually maybe a little bit, it was like that 6 or 7 months, I started my own blog just because mainly I just wanted to keep a record of all the stuff I was using and whether or not I liked it and would consider recommending it or coming back to it, because I felt like, especially with sheet masks, it's like I try to use one every day or every other day. It sometimes becomes a bit of a blur, and you fall in love with something and the next week you fall in love with something else, and there you go. So it was more about just keeping a catalog of all the reviews I was doing on Facebook groups, and it's set up that way. It's very cut and dry. The menu is just reviews, cleansers, toners, essences, and the names of them, and then I highlight them: green for yes, I would buy this again and recommend it, and red for no, I don't. So it's very easy to go into a TJ Maxx or go into an Ulta, and if I'm looking at something, I'm like, did I use this? Okay, last step for me rotates between the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask. I just started using that a week and a half ago. So that's still in the fridge. That's not what tonight's about. Tonight is about facial oils, and I love me some facial oils. So it's one thing I learned in the past couple months is, sure, I have oily and combination skin, but the one way to kind of control and balance your oil and kind of mimic your natural oil is to apply it topically, and then your face responds by producing less. And you might feel like putting oil on oily skin is a bad thing, but it actually regulates oil production. And so now my skin during the day is just so much more balanced. I don't look like an oil slick. So I'm all about the facial oils, and I kind of put them on as a last step pretty quickly after my lotion just so everything gets absorbed, creates like a nice little occlusive layer, locks everything in, and then we're good to go. So tonight I'm using a couple drops of grapeseed oil. Boop, 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 boop. And then I haven't done a review on essential oils yet necessarily, but I do use just a drop or two, boop, warp, of tea tree oil. I think that it helps keep my breakouts at bay, and it just helps to keep the redness at bay too, especially in this area, like where these ingrown hairs are. They sometimes can almost hurt, and this just really helps to soothe everything down. I use a tiny amount, like literally just 1 to 2 drops for my entire face is more than enough. And it looks super shiny right now, and in fact some of the oils in my routine do leave, like they don't absorb very well, but I found that grapeseed does an excellent job of absorbing. I keep looking not at you, hi. And the tea tree works really well too. So that's what I'm working with. It looks, I mean, I love this look, but it looks really shiny right now. It will dissipate within an hour, right before I fall to sleep. And then we're good to go. I don't ever have like oiliness on my pillows or anything like that. Grapeseed does a good job. And I think the tea tree helps it to absorb as well. So it just helps, and your skin just feels so much smoother. Facial oils, I'm telling you. I'll do a review anyway, on a video review. Okay, so last things last. Started the blog. Did that as a catalog. A lot of the people on Facebook groups seemed to like it, which I really appreciated, and it just boosted that feeling of support and that feeling of community. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love doing this, and it's a total hobby now. It's less about just trying to fix my skin and more about me being able to share my experiences with some of these products and being able to try different things and have a conversation around them, and then just falling into that rabbit hole of like what's coming out next, what's the ingredient of 2019 or 2020. So that's where I'm at now. I decided to start this YouTube channel a couple months ago. I have my own Facebook group now, which is just kind of jumping off. So it's been such an incredible journey just in a little over the year that I've started K-Beauty, and I can't wait to continue sharing products with you guys, doing these routines. I didn't even talk about the stuff I use for my hair, but we will save that for next month. And body products. So yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I could go on and on. I could do a YouTube live video that was 24-hour streaming where I was just like sitting here like, and this hour we're going to be covering the Aromatica something other. Call now. We've only got 12 units left, guys. And this is going to hydrate. This is going to like, I could do a 24-hour K-Beauty review and like in QVC thing. All day long, every day, all day. It's me and my skincare and you guys, and that's really all I would need in life. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you found some interesting information about my routine and my skin, what I've been dealing with, how I've been dealing with it, and hopefully we can learn and experience some new skincare products together. Thank you so much for watching. ajkbeauty.wordpress and at ajkbeauty for Instagram. Thanks again, and stay glowing.